I think this leads on to a good point. I think you're right. I feel like the introduction of Substack has been such an interesting introduction into the writing sphere, because it allows people to not just look at writing as like this thing that's published and informed. It's like it's a way for me to feeling page. And I feel like that's really showing a different side to writing. It's almost like essays, but essays on like society and culture and like all these things. And
the rise of the personal essay. Yes.
Talk to me about one of the essay or kind of poster you make. One it's called Falling in Love Terrifies Me. And there's a few that I want to go through today. And that was the first one. You mentioned romance and you mentioned love and that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the inspiration behind that.
This is so wild. I feel like I'm like, is this how people who go on podcasts feel? Like they're like, oh, we prepared this of yours. I was like, wait, I wrote that? Oh my God. But yes, falling in love. I'm still terrified of it. Mm-hmm. And I fall in love probably very often. I wrote it about the second person that I think in my life I have ever fallen in love with deeply. And it was my second like official relationship. And it really felt like I felt frustrated with myself that I so desperately didn't want my experience of love to be defined by my first love, which there's a lot of complexity there. I'm both grateful for it, but also had to learn a lot. I'm sure you can relate. Mm-hmm. And just that feeling of like, I now see love in this way, and now my body is reeling and I'm not able to trust as I did so easily. And you can feel yourself closing up, you can feel yourself guarding and wanting to say this and no, I'm not going to say it, and wanting to do this nice thing and be like, no, I don't want to come off like too intense, too desperate. And I'm just not nonchalant. Like, come on, I am in love. Like, I'm such a lover girl. I will be there, like handwritten, like letters in like ink pen, and I've calligraphed it. Is that an adjective?
It is now.
Calligraphed it.
Calligraph doesn't have words. It doesn't have meaning
did
anyway.
It in calligraph. Ooh, they have the meaning we give them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I relate a lot. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that one, because I related a lot to it. And I think love is a terrifying thing. Not because of itself, I think because there's other people involved, which you can't have love by itself. I think it's because it's about the vulnerability of it, I think. It's the aspect of like, this is me. This is me at my most, tender, but true, It's like tender and true. This is me at that moment. How am I being received by you in this moment? And it's like that, like putting your hand out and then not knowing, in a world where everyone says everyone else is so shallow and is so like guarded. And other people are guarded because their experiences or like the society we live in, to do that is I think it's courageous, but it's also just a terrifying feeling, and like, but I believe that I'm also a lover boy. I'm also like, because I believe to live tender and true is the best way to live. It's the only way to live. But once you become hardened, you miss so much about life. And it is frustrating, like, obviously, to have feelings and to try to to kind of exist in that mode of like vulnerability. But I've also found that you become more of yourself if you do that, because you're circling around something that's true. Whatever that person showed you about yourself, if you accept that, it allows you to be more true, more yourself, and stave off the real terrifying thing about life, which is like shallowness and like just dead kind of like emotions. You don't want that. You want hard-hitting feelings. You want that, you know what I mean?
It takes so much more strength to be vulnerable. It is completely untrue that to put yourself into a vulnerable position is embarrassing or weak. If anything, that is strong. That is literally the definition of strong. Because you are literally, you're taking a risk. You are putting yourself into a situation that could hurt a lot. And that takes so much courage and strength to do that. Yeah. It's the other side is, you know, like cowardice and safety. And of course, that's not in a way to say that we beat ourselves up for that, because we're all out here trying our best, right?
Honestly, and I think it's understandable why it's so scary. Like for me, right, and I think we're all in somewhat terrified. I'm terrified of love because of the breaking my routine. I think I'm such a big, I've got my life. I figured out my life. Okay, now I've taken a long time to figure out about what I want. But love throws all of that into chaos.
Yes,
where you're doing something else, but you're thinking about this thing, and this thing won't just go away. You're not in control anymore. I'm a big control. I like to be in control of my feelings and my emotion, because I like to show up in the world how I expect myself to show up, you know, with love and kindness. But when something just derails your emotion like that, you know, that's very difficult to handle. And so it's like there's that tension of like, you know, not wanting to give up too much control. But I've learned that it's not about giving up control. It's like when you start loving someone, it's almost like I'm curious about you, like I'm deeply curious, but also I'm willing to figure out what a life may be with you in it, like what this life I've created may be with you in it, you know. And it's like, okay, that's a different way of integrating that. Instead of saying, okay, like everything's going to get thrown out the window and I won't ever be myself again and I will lose autonomy and independence and all these things that we end up ascribing to that feeling of like, you know, that feeling of just being scared is like so encompassing so much different things. At least that's what I found.
I like how you worded that. What does a life look like with you? How can... I mean, I see a dance floor. I see like the music is playing, we're dancing to the beat, but the way that I'm hearing the melody, I'm hearing the rhythm and how it translates into my body is going to be different to yours. And so when you have a partner and the music is still there and we're still both dancing to the music, but okay, now we're like finding ways to fit together and move together. And I have to be aware of what you're doing and you have to be aware of what I'm doing. And how do you do like this? I guess the dance floor is life then.
That's a great analogy, actually. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
And I feel you on the
tango, right?
Yeah, it does. And I so feel you on the letting go of control. I really think that some of the best things that have entered my life have come so spontaneously, so out, like seemingly out of nowhere, dropped out of the sky. And almost having this faith that you cannot predict the outcome of something. Like I can tell you that, okay, I'm going to go to Morocco bound and I'm going to get the train and it's going to go to London Bridge and I'm going to get off and then I'm going to go to Poetry and meet some people. But people, like I can think that I know what's going to happen, but okay, then who are you going to meet? What are you going to talk about? How are you going to feel? And now it's led me here and I'm on this podcast. And so it's almost as if we can be under this illusion that we can tell what's going to happen. And it almost feels as if like, it's such a, like that is like one bit of information in the like terabyte that you're going to get of what actually happens, right? Like, okay, I can predict that like I'm going to get there, I'm going to do this. And then that feels like control to me, right? But like, I was not in control of anything else. But
it's about opening up to
Yeah.
it, right? Like, if you had just like completely shut me off and I said hello, then it wouldn't be here. You know, it's like
That is true.
an element of also, yes, putting yourself in that position, going out and experiencing, but putting yourself in a position where serendipitous things can happen. You know, if you,
True.
you know, I feel like that's a large part of what I've realized about if you
Making your luck as well. Yeah.
yeah, you know, like a lot of the things, a lot of the people that I met recently is just literally me being in situations and being like, that person's interesting. I don't know why they're interesting. They might not be interesting. They might not. But again, I think everyone's interesting. So that's. But it's like, so I'm like, that person's interesting. I want to speak. I want to get to know this person. I want to speak to them. So then, first off, is the an acknowledgement of that, getting past the feeling of like they don't want to be interrupted, because I have evidence of people. Me thinking that and then not, you know, most people, if you present yourself in the right way, they will talk to you. And then following through and then seeing it happen and seeing it blossom into friendships. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That means that I got to just trust the universe with these feelings. And so that there's the aspect of that, you know, that's part of like learning to trust that things will go well and then moving on that basis. Coming back to writing for a second.
Yes.
Talk to me about how writing has helped you become different versions of yourself. Ooh. How does writing help you, I guess, let go of a version of yourself and also move into another version of yourself?